After Shaza'r became president of Eretz Yisrael, the Rebbe spoke about it by a Farbrengen. It was Shabbos Parshas Nosei Tovshin Chov Gimel. And the Rebbe said that he's going to say something which is putting him into an engen ort, that means a narrow place, which means he's going to say something that's controversial. And he says he doesn't know for was darf sich sparen oder sprechen in a engen ort. He doesn't know why he has to push himself into such a narrow place, which means to say something that's controversial, but he thinks that it's going to come out good out of it. Therefore, he's going to say it. And that is that a certain person was Eila Ligdula. That means a certain person rose to a high position. And since the position was given to him by Yidden, and amongst them were also many Frume Yidden, B'meile, we could apply to that, what it says in Yerushalmi, that whoever rises to Gdula, to a great position, a high position, Hashem forgives him for all his Averis. And the Rebbe said, therefore, Hashem will definitely forgive him for all his Averis, and from now on, he's only going to do good things. And he says, I hope that he will be able to withstand all the obstacles, the hardships he's going to have, and all the nisyonis he's going to have. And then the Rebbe said that some people have questions about this whole thing. So the Rebbe said, that the Frierdiker Rebbe said, that if you want to check on something, if it's good, see what are going to be the results, the outcome. So we saw right away, as soon as he became president, he did something very good. He pardoned a Yid that was able to go home to his wife and his children. And that's definitely a great thing. And the Rebbe says, I know it wasn't easy for him to do it. And he did it with rizes. So that already shows that this is a good thing. And then the Rebbe says that since, especially that he had brochas from the Frierdiker Rebbe, definitely he's going to use it for afotzes hayadus, afotzes hamayonis, and he'll use all his keiches for the best that he has, and he's going to help other Yidden, etc., etc. More things. I don't remember exactly the expressions that the Rebbe used. Now, I would like to explain what does it mean that he pardoned a Yid. This is concerning the uncle of Yosele Schumacher. At that time, there was a whole tumult in the world that there was a boy, his name was Yosele, his last name was Schumacher. His parents were not frum, but his grandfather was frum, his mother's father, and his mother's father kept him and took him away from the parents in order to raise him frum, because by the parents he would be raised not frum. And the whole world was tumbling against it, and they claimed that this is kidnapping, and they had even the FBI involved, and the whole world. And finally they found where he is, and they arrested and put into prison one of his uncles. So he was in the prison in Eretz Yisrael for this. And when Shaza'r became president, he pardoned him and let him go out. But the Rebbe, this was a very big thing. And since he did that as soon as he became president, the Rebbe said that shows that this is something very good. But again, what the Rebbe said, that he's saying something controversial. Taki, what happened later was that the whole delegation of Isachtas Rabbonim came to the Rebbe of Rabbonim, taining to the Rebbe, and he said something like this. Now, obviously, no one was in there besides them, except probably the Maskirim, but nevertheless, we heard some verter of what he said, what the Rebbe said. And when they came in at the Atainas, the Rebbe Bechlal did not accept him in such a nice way, meaning smiling to them. I think it was very, like they came to attack, so the Rebbe had to answer them the same way. So there are just a few things that I remember what they said over there, the Rebbe said. They came and said to the Rebbe, how could the Rebbe say such a thing when they gave Shaza'r? So the Rebbe said, what should I do? It says in Yerushalmi. In Yerushalmi it says, Kol ha'ela l'gdula, meich le'akol ha'v'nesav. So they said, but the ganze Welt stürmt gegen them. The whole world is storming against it. So the Rebbe said, was soll ich tun? Die Welt stürmt gegen Yerushalmi. What could I do? The world is going against the Yerushalmi. But then they said to the Rebbe, if that's so, then why can't we say the same thing on Ben Gurion himself? So the Rebbe said to them, was artaich as the Rebbe steht mechel gewen auf die Averes von noch Hayden. In other words, so if it is so. What's the problem? And we saw Takel Pale Mamesh that after he became president, there were so many inyonim that he did for the Teve of Yiddishkeit, as the Rebbe had predicted before, and therefore what the Rebbe did gave him chizuk, and Mamele, he was able to do more things to help Yiddishkeit and Teire and Afotzes HaMayonis.